Men and women don't even have sex for the same reason.
I'm having sex because I want to just satisfy my flesh. She's having sex because she don't want me to go nowhere.
I just don't want to look like I fought Conor McGregor.
But you can't get there unless you learn how to suffer in horniness.
If you act like you enjoy what we're doing, we're going to repeat it. You won't know somebody ain't good if you ain't got experience.
Don't y'all be talking about y'all pro-black watching that white porn.
If you've had sex with a lot of other women, you start...
I would never do that to my wife. Women have decided to be less of themselves to survive in the cold world.
That's a hard conversation.
If you have ever really loved somebody, you may not be with them, but you still love them.
That definition of intimacy is so great because that actually answers a question a young lady asked a while ago. She had a guy that they were sexually active at the beginning of their relationship. Then she said she no longer wanted to have sex. So she pretty much took it off the table. And what he would do after that is, you know, she'll go try to hug him, and he'll be like, no. Mm-hmm. I can't hug you because, you know, we can't have sex. I ain't trying to get turned on. Mm-hmm. You know, she'll try to get a kiss. Okay, good night. No, I can't kiss you because remember, no sex. Remember that's what we doing. So that's the exact opposite of what you just said, because obviously he's got a whole plan and contingencies around what he's doing for her in order for him to get what he wants.
Well, let's talk about the reason why all of that is complex. Now, if we're going to keep it a buck, sex was created by God to be enjoyed between people who are married. So if that action is reserved for a certain amount of people, then all of the complications surrounding it are man-inflicted.
Yeah.
So now we're trying to figure out how to do a spiritual thing a fleshly way. So now we've degraded this act that's supposed to be sacred between a man and a woman who have entered into vows to just those of the opposite sex. That's where the difficulty comes in. And so now you have people who say, all right, well, you know, I failed before, but I'm about to start over. I'm about to do the pure 30. I'm about to. Right. So now I'm in this challenge that's actually antithetical to my experience. It's only difficult because I've done it outside of the confines of right. It's the same way with a person who does drugs. Once I get addicted to it, you're going to tell me I can't have it. I can show you 1,000 excuses why I need to.
Right.
I'm going to die if I don't have it.
Right, literally.
I can give you 1,000,000 reasons why I need it now, because now I ain't talking from the spirit. I'm talking from another place. So the difficulty surrounding this is that most people, including us, come on, let's just keep it real.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody, not everybody, most people who watching us right now have had an intimate encounter with somebody that they ain't put a ring on the finger.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Can we just keep it that real?
Absolutely.
All right. So now we got this holy thing that we're trying to figure out how to do an unholy way. And you know why we can't figure out no answers? Because it ain't no answer. You can't do something wrong right.
That's the
bottom line.
No, that's
Tashawn is hilarious, by the way.
They're trying to figure it out.
Because you're talking to the depth of his soul. That's why.
Yeah, because I've spent the last couple of years of my life just trying to figure it out. I've been abstinent now for what has been like 5 months. And when I tell you, just a eye-opening experience. And it's really difficult, especially, you know, with a woman you really care about, really love, to go from sexually active to now not having sex, especially when you've conditioned yourself to just feed the flesh.
Right.
You've conditioned yourself to just do that automatically.
And opportunity is abundant.
Exactly. So now to be in that space, it's really incredible, because the insights that you gain, the level of understanding of that person that you gain, the understanding of whether or not you like them or not, and how where you the vision even starts to get more clear. And that's really why we push pure30challenge.com for everybody, because it's a lot of us that really, really need some kind of catalyst to really get pushing in that. Because once I started experiencing that, it hit me. I said, okay, now I understand. Because I was so deep into it, Pastor. let me tell you something. I thought you was crazy to tell me not to have sex.
Yeah.
Like, I really thought you was crazy. Because the mindset is, if my appetite is going off, if I'm hungry, I feed it. That's the mindset. If I'm hungry, I eat.
Facts.
And the appetite, the sexual appetite, we train ourselves the exact same way. If I'm horny, I feed it. When really, when you break that cycle and you learn how to suffer in that horniness, there's so many rewards on the other side of that.
There's power in it.
There's so many rewards. It's power, it's joy, it's self-control, it's peace, it's confidence. It's so many things that's built after that. But you can't get there unless you learn how to suffer in horniness. And that's what a lot of us see horniness as, a moment of suffer. And it might only last a couple hours or a couple minutes. But those are some of the most painstaking moments. And if you've been feeding it for years, even decades, now you acting an addict to get off the dope.
Yeah, so I'm going to read the scripture to you. So we're talking about like, you know, a thing that was designed by God for procreation, right? Be fruitful and multiply. And then he gives us the ability in marriage to have sex as not just for the fulfillment and replenishment of the earth, but as satisfaction as somebody. So if you do anything outside of that, it's difficult. Now, if you with a girl or you with a dude and your viewers are like, man, we on this 30 challenge, we on this pure 30 challenge, and we're not going to indulge in this sexual activity. The Bible does speak to that, but it is counterintuitive to what our society is trained to do. The Bible says in 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 8, to the unmarried and widows, I say that it is best for them to remain as I am, talking about Paul as a single man, abstinent. But if they do not have self-control, let them get married. Now, that's what the Bible says. But society says, I ain't just going to marry nobody just so I ain't having sex with somebody I ain't married to. So now our antidote to a thing that God said is a man-created exception by which God can't bless because he can only bless his word.
Right.
So what do we do when we're faced with the difficulty of, I'm attracted to this person, and this is what we have done over the last 6 months, a year, whatever, and then I'm decide for the last 5 months. By the way, I don't care what nobody tell you. I don't care what you feel about yourself. You have done a noble thing, and 5 months is a beast.
Yes.
To be off of something that you admittedly say that you could have been addicted to. And I want to applaud you publicly because, bro, anybody who would judge you is being disingenuous. That ain't nothing to shake a stick at. And it's amazing that if you say I've been abstinent for 5 months, people will be like, yeah. But let the alcoholic say, I haven't had a drink in 2 weeks. Now we ready to throw a party.
Yep. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You are to be commended for that.
Thank you.
Right. So, but the Bible does say that if you don't have that kind of self-control and that there's this person that you are intimate with in this way, Paul says, I would rather you marry them than to continue to do this, because he knows what the ramifications of living outside of that is. Soul ties. How many people watching us today, souls, if you take a string that's 3 feet long and you keep tying it up, you'll never know how long it was because it's in knots. And the more you keep tying yourself up with people, the less of you we gonna see. And when you do meet your person, you'll never be able to give them 3 feet. Wow. You'll only be able to give them what's left. And it'll be all there, but it'll be tied up in knots.
And I would say 99% of people listening to the show right now got a soul tie. 99%.
That's a poll right there.
I'm going to drop that one.
How many people got an active soul tie going right now?
But not everybody knows it, too. Not everybody knows they have a soul tie.
And see, that's a really good point, because how do I identify that I might have an active soul tie popping off right now?
Wait, before you do that, because I need to drop this poll, and we need to give a shout out to the episode sponsor real quick.
We absolutely do. We absolutely do. It's getting so good.
Let me
man.
drop this.
Shout
Dude,
out Pastor Keion going crazy.
you
right
have
now. Saving my soul
a
right
soul
now.
tie. I'm gonna just drop.
I'm about to get at least one knot out mine tonight.
There you
I'm
go,
getting
bro.
at least one knot out
least.
tonight.
You got some repentance to do, Tyshawn. I can tell. Pastor Keion word hitting too hard. All right,
hitting
no,
hard.
he over there sweating.
Oh, but check this out though. You know, all soul ties ain't unhealthy.
Oh.
Because I got one with my wife. That
Right.
ain't. They not all unhealthy. So we got to take away that negative connotation to that word. It can be negative if used wrong.
Right.
But there are some good things to that as well. Because if you decide that you ain't never going to have another soul tie and you never going to get that intertwined with anybody again, then the person who deserves it won't get it because you made a decision before you met them. So they ain't all bad.
I like that. We're gonna get into it. We gotta get into the soul tie talk.
Oh no, I love that.
Real quick, shout out to the episode sponsors, guys. Shout out to AG1, this episode sponsor for Harley Initiated. And guys, we've been on AG1 now for like, I don't know, 6 months or something like that, maybe even longer than that. And the thing is, Tasha, is just, what's wrong? What's wrong?
Read the whole thing. I ain't got it.
Oh no, it's good, it's good. So guys, this is the thing. I use AG1. I first started using AG1 when I was low on energy. And the thing is, I'm in the gym all the time. Obviously, I do my 4 a.m. wake ups, and we're going to be here to the studio probably till midnight tonight. So you know I got these long days. So I had to find something that can supplement my energy and really give me that boost.
Facts.
So guys, and that's because AG1 is a foundational nutritional supplement that supports your body's universal needs like gut optimization, stress management, and immune support. Since 2010, AG1 has led the future of foundational nutrition, continuously refining their formula to create a smarter, better way to elevate your baseline health, guys.
Yeah.
So not only did I replace my multivitamin with AG1 because it literally is packed with everything, but I love that every scoop also includes vitamin C and zinc to support my immune system. So fellas, I want you to look up what zinc does to your immune system.
Brother.
You need that zinc.
You need
trust
that
me.
zinc.
But guys, we recommend AG1 to all of the gym bros, all of my family and friends. Literally, my sister's on AG1. I'm trying to get my mom on AG1 now because it is formulated based of the latest science and maintains high quality standards. Even Delano has started drinking AG1. Because Delano, he don't like doing nothing extra.
Right.
He is finally on the AG1. And he already tells me how energetic he feels. So, guys, if there's one product that's recommended to elevate your health, it's AG1. And that's why I'm excited to welcome them as a continued partner. So, if you want to take ownership of your health, it starts with AG1. So, try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3K2 and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase at drinkag1.com/initiate. That's drinkag1.com/initiate. Go ahead and check it out.
Nice. There you have it. And listen, man, I'm telling you, I really do take AG1 every morning. Big impact on my health. So I want y'all to really get on your health game here, family. It ain't cheap at all. I'm gonna tell you that. I'm gonna be honest with you. It ain't cheap, but it's definitely worth it. Got to get them vitamins in your body.
Right. I literally got COVID after I stopped drinking. After I stopped taking AG1 for real. I literally got COVID for like 2 weeks.
Hey, don't tell them. Come on, you got a guest here right now. You can't let them know you had COVID.
Oh no, it's over. It's over. It's been. But no. Literally, I had COVID for like 13 days.
He got back on AG1. He's back.
Yeah, I'm back. And you get a little lazy sometimes. You take your supplements every morning. And I'm just like, oh, forget this. But now I'm back.
Nah, Pass, it's some soul ties getting them. It's them soul ties.
took his health from him.
Got his immune system tied up.
Right.
Got his immune system, but let's actually go back to it because let's drop that poll, by the way.
Oh no, I did drop that poll.
The poll.
So I dropped the poll. Do you have a soul tie? It's 50-50 right now. We got over 200 votes. Do you have a soul tie? Wow. It's 50-50.
And let's ask, and the question I was going into it because for the people that might not know or might need to go back and revise their answers, how might I be able to identify that I'm actively dealing with a soul tie right now?
You took the words out of my mouth. I said, before we finish the poll, we might need to define the word.
Yes.
Yeah.
And one of the ways that you can determine whether or not you're in the soul tie, and it ain't just, did I have sex with the person? No. One of the ways you have, let's call it a dangerous connection, right? A dangerous connection is jealousy, possessiveness, and a lot of codependency. Right? What happens when y'all are away from each other? Is that toxic? Like, do I gotta show you my phone just to make you trust me?
Oh, that's toxic.
That's toxic.
Yeah.
Do I got to give you all of my passwords because your other boyfriend hurt you? That's toxic. So you got to find out what this thing is built on. So I think the poll should be, instead of how many of y'all got a soul tie, how many of y'all have a dangerous connection?
Oh, yeah.
Right? Because soul ties could have so many nuances in it. But is the connection dangerous? Are we so codependent on each other that if I call you at 8 o'clock and you call me back at 8:05, you must be doing something wrong? But if I call you at 8 o'clock and 8:05, it's because your battery died. That's unhealthy.
Right.
Right. So I think that, going back to where we started, like when all of those things are still in the mix, let's go back to how we started. Just better stay by yourself. It's just best to be alone.
Best to be alone.
It's best to be alone.
I remember myself when I first got privy to the concept of soul ties. I started doing some research in it. We had a couple episodes on it, and it hit me because for me, with my symptoms, I feel, of the soul tie it was when I was away from women, when I got in my deepest levels of my sexual appetite, getting at its highest levels, it was always the same person I would think of. It was always that same person. I think it can get so toxic even to the point where even while you enjoying or having intimacy with one person, you might even be still
thinking about somebody else,
about that one person. So and like you said, it's a nuanced subject around what your experience might be around it. But me, especially when you start getting into the casual sex world, that is how you can get tied into it, by sex. And that's a dangerous situation, because you put yourself in these situations where you might really end up taking that into potentially a marriage. In fact, Ryan, I think this is a really good segue. We have an email that came in from one of our initiates.
Yeah.
And this one here is kind of crazy, but we saved this just for you.
Which one? Which one?
The one with the wife, she dealing with the husband.
Oh my gosh! Let me
whip
get
that one out. That's
I had to print that one out.
Whip that one out.
Gosh.
So
I read that it was so compelling.
We need Pastor Keion's wisdom on this one. So y'all staying tuned. It's about to be story time on this one here.
Guys, let me tell you. Sometimes me, Delano, and Ty, we just sit down. You know what I mean? We sit down, we relax, we pull out that emails, we pull out the popcorn, and we just start reading. Because some of these stories are incredible. I'm like, there's some real life stuff going on.
Some real life stuff. So let's listen to this one here.
Okay, now she says she wants us to call her. She says she wants to be anonymous on this one. Most people we read the first name, but this one is so deep. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna skip that. We can call her a child of God. So she says, COG. She says, good day. I have a question. I am married 1.5 years, and I'm just now finding out that my husband likes freakish sex. We are both African American, black people. He is always looking at white women and porn where there's black men having sex with white women. I'm a Christian, and the things that he talks about doing in bed, like choking, slapping, pulling hair, wanting to watch me masturbate with myself, is not who I am at all. And he did not show me these things or tell me anything about these things prior to our marriage. He mentions that we are not sexually compatible in bed, and his suggestion is that we should leave the marriage for divorce. My question is this manipulation, or is this healthy communication?
Wow.
So I think it could be a little bit of both, and I'm not there, so I don't know why he's saying what he's saying, because he would say, I'm telling you what I need.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So he would say it isn't manipulation. She doesn't want to do it, so she would say it is.
It is manipulation.
Right? So I'm always hesitant to answer a question like that doesn't have both people at the table. Now, because she could be adding a little bit, or he could be, not doing all of that, or he could, choking and slamming somebody right. and all that kind of stuff.
Choking, slapping, and pulling hair.
Yeah, you don't even have to say I'm a Christian and don't want that. Just be like, bro, I don't want to be abused, okay? This ain't got nothing to do with me confessing Jesus as my Lord and Savior. I just don't want to look like I fought Conor McGregor after we finished. That's a lot, bro. That's a lot. And I think, let me just speak to the lady. No, let me say this. The man probably ain't listening, but the purpose of sex is obviously to procreate and for enjoyment for those who are married. And if you are married and you are in a sexual relationship and your partner tells you that they are uncomfortable with something, then you should acquiesce to that. I don't think that you should force anybody to do anything that they don't want to do. That has a definition.
Right.
Right? And it is illegal. Okay. So if somebody says that they don't want something, then you should not do that. But don't not want something and then do it. And then say later on to yourself you don't want that, but not communicate that to the person you are with. So I'm not saying she didn't, but if she emailed us and didn't tell him, ain't nothing we can do.
That's true.
You need to say, look, baby, I love you. You are my husband. I appreciate you. I want to satisfy you, but I don't want to be gasping for air in the process.
Right.
And I just got my hair done and it got to last. And you can't pull this out before the week is over because we ain't got money like that. You just be honest. You'd be surprised what you could get if you be honest. If she hasn't said anything, because let me tell you something about a man. Every man will admit to this if he's telling the truth. If you act like you enjoy what we're doing, we're going to repeat it.
Yes,
we are.
So if you ever say, pull my hair, daddy, and now all of a sudden you don't like it no more, if you ever, we always respond to response.
It become a move.
We gotta go. Listen, we gotta stop by Pastor Church because he keeping it 1,000.
He keeping
tonight.
it 1,000. Yeah.
Bro, did you hear what Ty just said, or did you just hear?
What did he say?
It become a move.
It do. Right, that should go too.
About to hit her with the rock bottom.
What is wrong with you, man?
She liked that last time. Right.
But see, here's the crazy thing. If you've had sex with a lot of other women, you start bringing those moves.
Yep, the same moves.
Now you coming into the game for the first time. It's the first match.
Right.
And you already got 19 moves.
Yeah, Michelle liked this. But Suzanne don't. Right? You bringing in something that made somebody else say yes, and you got somebody else saying no. Again, this is the conflict of soul ties. This is the conflict of experience.
Oh.
The conflict of experience, because the truth is the way God designed marriage. We were supposed to be getting our experience together at the same time.
Right.
And you won't know somebody ain't good if you ain't got experience.
Exactly.
Ooh.
And he's overexposing himself, the guy, because
with the porn and all of that.
Film study.
Yeah. Yeah.
Real.
So now you looking at something that was edited.
Right. He just caught on late.
Special effects. There's some special effects in that, bro.
Hey, and don't y'all be talking about y'all pro-black watching that white porn. They talk about. Oh my God, that's so crazy.
Hey, Ryan is in the studio crying. Y'all got him in here screaming.
No, this real life stuff going on.
Yeah, real life stuff.
And that's the danger. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, and the difficulty of it is that people who do what I do for a living are not usually allowed an opportunity to talk about it. So I'm a pastor. Like, I don't know, sex is in the world.
Right.
Like, I'm a pastor, so I can't have a conversation about a parishioner who says my husband is choking me and pulling my hair. I don't like it. We can't just be talking about this on podcasts. We got to be talking about it in forums at church.
Yep.
We got to have settings. No, I'm not going to be on the pulpit saying this because I got 12-year-olds sitting in the seat.
Exactly.
But a specific group and setting of people who love God but dealing with real stuff. I think, and I might be crazy, but I think that we got to put this in the conversation, man.
You do.
I think, and not over spiritualize it, because God ain't tell that man to choke her. Pornhub.com did.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And he watched it, and somebody who was paid to act like something that they don't like.
It's pleasurable.
You can choke me if I get paid $100,000 for it. But she like, bro, nah, that's too much. That's too much. And no, my brand of ministry is for people who like to have real conversations. I'm not effective with people who need me to show up and act like I don't think half of the world exists.
Yep.
I'm not good in that space. I'm just not, and it gets me in trouble a lot. But I think I help a lot of people by letting them know that God ain't disgusted with them because they not perfect.
Yo,
I appreciate that.
I am delivered.
First of all, you always gonna be welcome to Hardly Initiated.
Absolutely.
We cannot run away from the conversation of sex in the midst of sex culture.
it's a sexually permissive culture.
That's what we're in right now. Sex sales is literally has become a staple in business.
Right.
Okay, so sex is a strategy in how companies are driving their revenue. It's a strategy in how the social media is keeping you on your phone even longer. It's a strategy in how porn is becoming something that even now men and women are become younger and younger are the users on these websites and platforms.
Yeah.
So we got to really lean into the conversations and definitely not lean away from it.
And let's not leave out the fact that this thing that we are having conversations about does have an antidote. Number one, God created sex for the procreation of society, and he segregated that for a couple that was in a monogamous relationship. And now this thing that he has for man and woman in a monogamous relationship that is now done between people who are in relationships, whether I'm dating or all that kind of stuff. Well, of course I'm gonna have complications when I use the product in accordance with something outside of the warranty. Take that camera that was used to be on dry ground and go jump in the lake and try to film me and see if it functions. You gotta use it right in order for it to give you the result that you're looking for. And so using what God created for couples who are married, outside of that, there is no protection on the exercise because God didn't make it for that. And now we got to do all of the work to recover from those things that we use in a way that was really for our own self-aggrandizement.
Man, incredible.
You guys, 1,200 people in the chat, guys. And listen, I know y'all, listen, I know these conversations is really hitting because the chat is actually going crazy.
No, the chat is.
Right. And before you get into one of those freakishly sexy relationships, you need to make sure you cop these Hardly in Love cars.
Absolutely.
And these will let you know, without test driving, everything you need to know before you actually get into the relationship. And this, by far, guys, between this right here, the Hardly in Love cars, and this Fight the Flesh bracelet that I'm wearing, 5 months abstinence as well. 5 months abstinence as well is the #1 ways that you can support the channel. So please click the link in the bios below, and also Pastor Keion's book.
Hey, yeah, because you got to read. You got 20 of them. You got listen. A part of that challenge, you got to read every single day. Lazy Love is out, family. All right.
Another one.
So I need y'all to make sure. Free giveaway. We are literally giving away 20 now copies of the book, but. Don't
20 this week, and then we're gonna do another 10 next week.
Yes, and I don't want you guys again to be lazy about your education. So go ahead and feel free to cop the book. If you win anyway, we'll take care of you. Just let us know. But I really want you guys to get active and take your development absolutely serious, man. Your team sent us over the PDF so we could look over it before the episode.
Ooh, let me talk about this real quick.
Go ahead.
Because
that man said, ooh.
Yeah,
Go
because we got to do our
He
research.
excited.
Yeah, right. So I was really going through the book, and I was picking out my favorite concepts in it. And, it's funny because, we got the book earlier last week, I believe. And, the young lady that I'm dating, she pretty much told me she was, having family weekend this weekend, and, she communicated beforehand. She was spending, she's got 2 sisters, and she's spending her whole Saturday with her 2 sisters and her mom or whatnot. And so she couldn't come over Friday, because usually she'd come over, we would spend, Friday and Saturday together. And for some reason, I was just really frustrated. I was just really upset. I was feeling very needy. I'm like, man, like I just felt like I wasn't being loved on. I wasn't being taken care of. And it was really festering in me. It was really driving a nuisance. And I'm thinking, man, as soon as I get with her, I'm going to talk to her. And I kept thinking about the concept of attunement. I kept thinking about that. Now, keep in mind, I've only been dating her for like 5 months, right? And I go and I'm sitting in the car with her, and I'm like, well, are you familiar with attunement? Because I'm trying to explain to her, you need to understand this concept, because you're not really understanding what I need. And it was funny.
And she's bullying the girl with your book, man.
Right. And she's just cool. She's just so cool. And she, she's just so lighthearted. She started laughing. She's like, babe, listen, I know you want me to read your mind. I know you want me to feel these things out, but I'm still getting to know you. And she really calmed me down. But I want you to further explain what attunement needs, because when I came across the concept in your book, I thought, this is what I want. Like, I want this level of understanding in my relationship.
Yeah, so the best way I talk about attunement is a guitar. Okay, the concept of attunement. I play acoustic lead guitar a little bit, and I don't play all the time. So I got a Fender Stratocaster. I got this other acoustic guitar, and they're in the case. And every once in a while I pull it out and I play it. But because I don't use it often, the heat and cold in the house makes the strings contract and retract. So sometimes I pick it up, it's out of tune. So I have a app that I put down, and chord by chord, E, D, and I get it tuned up. And it is only when the guitar is tuned that I have harmony. So what I mean by the concept of attunement is that you and your spouse have to be on the same page, or on the same wavelength, or on the same page, whatever it is, so there can be harmony. Because without attunement, singing in different keys, we're never going to make harmony.
Right.
So what she's saying to you is, all men ain't created equal.
Right.
I'm just getting to know you. What I heard her say in that small anecdote, all you got to do is tell me. Mm-hmm. And I could have adjusted. That's attunement. That's telling somebody I feel out of key and giving them the proper information so we can have harmony. And what you're saying to her is, and you didn't say this word, but I'm going to say it for you, I don't feel like a priority, and you messing up my rhythm.
Right.
Because I'm accustomed, Harmony, to having the same sound on Fridays.
Right.
So now I feel like you picked something over me. I'm out of key. Now, this is what she's going to do if she's meant to be. She's going to tell her sisters, like, next time I come, I may have to come on Thursday. Next time, I may have to bring Ryan with me, or whatever that is.
Right, whatever the adjustment is.
Whatever that adjustment is. That's what attunement is. It's giving somebody the proper information so that they can strike the right chord, and harmony can be a result of the conversation. That's really all it is. It's the best way I can explain it. And without the conversation, nobody's a mind reader. And then here's the problem: if somebody becomes a mind reader and they read the wrong thing, then they still gonna be in trouble, because now we're accusing them of not paying attention to us because they made the wrong assumption. So yeah, that's attunement. That's attunement.
I like that.
Yeah, I think of that when people say, this relationship between us, it just feels easy. I think they talking about that working very well.
I like
just
that.
Adjusting to each other, because we don't know the words a lot of times,
right?
The mechanical words of what's really going on. But that's very important, because these things are always, we trying to stay and flow with each other. in relationship. And I think just those people that we just work with best, I think that happens the best. But is attunement supposed to be something that we should hope for this natural level of base level of chemistry, or are you expected to communicate, or are you responsible for the attunement in your relationship vocally?
Yeah, you are responsible for it. It's like getting a car. There are certain things that come with it, but there are certain features that you have to upgrade to get. Every car gonna come with wheels. Every one of them gonna come with windows. Every one of them got a windshield.
Right.
They got rear view mirrors. But if you want Bluetooth, or if you want televisions in the back, if you want to upgrade on the sound system, then those are things you have to profess at purchase. So the base model of a relationship should have some sort of chemistry.
Right.
But the way that chemistry is expressed can be upgraded through communication. That makes sense?
Absolutely.
I mean, that's genius, because that's exactly what happened. I mean, once I communicated what was going on, it was an instant connection. Now, it took a lot for me to communicate, because I did not want, because I felt needy. Because what I really wanted was literally her to call me and say, "Hey, babe, man, it's been a crazy day. You want to play?" And I would have been like, "Oh, no, I'm good." That's what I really wanted, to deny the invitation. That's what would have made me feel good. But I did not want to say that. But I did.
But
and when I did, she was
grateful.
She was grateful.
Now let's go back to who you were raised by.
Uh-oh.
Let's go back to how your needs were met when you were young.
Right.
Does that sound familiar?
Man, whatever was going on, I was getting taken care of. It don't matter what was going on. My mom was like, she could have 1,000 things to do. The first person that was going to be straight was me.
So then we proved the basis of the book.
Right.
You're looking for this lovely young lady that you're now dating. And I have to imagine she's amazing, because women who make adjustments like that,
yeah,
for men that they're just getting to know, should be applauded.
Absolutely.
Her only problem this weekend was that she doesn't have the experience with you that your mama does.
Yep.
She don't know you.
Yep.
Like that. So she didn't do anything wrong, because what you have to understand is that there are going to be some weekends she's going to make the adjustment, but now you have a sneak preview into how she was raised. And if you're going to have attunement, you're going to have to be okay with her going over there in moments where you want her over here, because she was raised that way. Yep. They get together.
Yep.
And if you take that away from her, the backlash of the people she used to get together with, what they're going to say could potentially change how she feels about you. So in actuality, to get her to come over to your side more often is to promote her to go on her side more often.
Pastor Keion, let me tell you something. She literally said that. She was like, well, since we're in the mood of giving feedback, she's like, I would have liked you to hype me up about this weekend. I would have liked you to be asking me, like, yo, what y'all cooking over there? What y'all doing? To be more curious about how the weekend was going, versus me literally sitting there thinking, when the hell is she gonna hit me up and let me know what's going on over there? It's me having genuine curiosity about how she's engaging and enjoying her family. And it was, man, you an expert, man. You an expert, man. Because
we just exposed this selfish bastard right here.
I mean, it really did. But I really felt so good about that. And you're right, for her to be even open to that, because I've been in, the reason I was so apprehensive about even communicating, because I felt like when I tried to communicate, the response wasn't received. And this young lady was, she literally started laughing, and it was a fun conversation. And we going back and forth like, oh yeah, when I did this and I did this, and we talking about all of our responses to things we literally created in our head. She was like, yeah, because when you was short, when you called me then I thought you was thinking this, and then I'm thinking, oh well, I thought you was thinking this, and literally we were both creating these stories in my head versus coming together and having a conversation.
Is her father in her life?
Yeah.
Because she sounds like a woman that understands men.
She is. And she's got 2 older sisters. One is married, and like that's like her oldest is 28. And literally, like, that's their thing. Like, that's what they discuss. They want to be wives. Every single one of them.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, yo, we want to be wives.
I hear that. I hear that in her decision making. Man, I just wish, like, for every woman who listening right now, and maybe some of the ladies listening right now, their fathers were not the greatest examples. But man, when a woman has a good father, she has an advantage, bro. She understands male tone. She understands male language. She understands something a lot earlier. Now, I'm not saying that women who don't have a father don't eventually get it, but it's amazing when you're being taught that at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years old and not learning that at 19, 20, 21, 22. I immediately heard father when you told me what she said.
Wow.
It almost, and I could go further, it almost sounds like her parents have a long-standing relationship.
Yeah, they've been married for like 30 years.
Yeah. So she saw that growing up. Her ability to laugh that off is because she was raised by a mama that told her, baby, everything ain't that serious. And you don't throw away a good opportunity because you're in your feelings. See, that's how a good woman talks to her daughter about how she's supposed to show up in the world if the guy is worth the conversation.
Right.
Because if you ain't worth the conversation, you're going to experience the direct opposites. And both her and her sister be at your house getting all her stuff up out of there.
They like that too.
And dare you to touch them
really
on
like,
their way out the door.
Roll
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, I can see all that.
Is your mom Carol?
Yeah.
Oh, Carol catches. So she in the chat right now. Shout out to mom.
Mama in there?
Yeah, she love you. She love you.
right
Yeah.
now.
Mama Carol, what's going on?
First off,
Facts.
my mama texted me, said, y'all late today. What's going on? What past that?
You should have told her he was with another pastor before he came, and you know when 2 pastors get together.
Oh, all right.